America's 250th is now just weeks away, and the Commonwealth is celebrating its role as the birthplace of our nation. We show you how a connection to South Central PA helped spread the word of the country's then new Declaration of Independence. It's fitting that inside building character in Lancaster, the Heritage Press Museum celebrates one aspect that helped build Lancaster. Thanks to a hand from someone who knows a thing or two about founding.
At one time, we had over 30 print shops here in Lancaster. One of our earliest print shops was actually established by Ben Franklin.
It was named the New Printing Office.
This is a technique that every apprentice has to learn how to do.
One of the apprentices in that shop was named John Dunlap. He worked on his craft before ultimately moving to Philadelphia. As the Declaration of Independence neared completion, the Founding Fathers knew that they would need copies of the now historic document to get the word out.
They were printing copies, proofs, ahead of time so that they could look at them and then make corrections as needed. And so when they approved it on July 4th, they didn't sign it, they approved it on July 4th. Then Hancock asked John if it was possible to print 200 copies by the next day, and he said, yeah, I can do that. Well, he was working all overnight with his printers.
Setting the type was a far more intricate process than just clicking on a printer button.
What a printer would do is they would take one letter at a time and place it into a stick. This is what the stick would have looked like in the 1700s. The printer would take the copy and have to do one letter at a time. Pull it from the case, put it in there.
By the time he finished the first pressing, around 200 copies were made, now known as the Dunlap broadside.
Hancock wanted one copy to go to every continental capital, and he wanted one copy to go to every major newspaper, and then he wanted copies to be read at every encampment of the Continental Army. They sent it with instructions for each colony to print their own copies and distribute them.
Of the original 200, the National Park Service says there are only 26 still known in existence.
The last one sold, Norman Lear bought it in 2000 for $8.4 million. And that's the one that was found in Lancaster County. Purchased for $4. It was a antique dealer who was buying these old frames, and he was cutting the pictures out. And they started to cut this picture out, and he saw in the back of this picture was this piece of folded up paper. So he unfolded it, and it looked like that.
Over time, there have been different variations, but the first time any citizen looked at or were read the Declaration of Independence,
this is called a proof press.
It came from a man who used the skills he learned in South Central PA.